Look at that erosion. Look at that erosion, y'all. The street is eroding from all the rain. The street is eroding from all the rain. How many of you guys remember erosion from school? They teach you the different things about the streets and what the weather conditions can do to the asphalt, concrete, if it's laid. Happy Monday to you guys. Happy Monday. Happy first day of work to everybody who started their work week. I hope you had a great start to your Monday. Hope you had positive vibes at work, good energy. Keep positive vibes around you because, baby, the wicked will damn try to come, kill, steal, and destroy. But you got to push that off, especially if you know what your course is. Stay on what your course has always been. Whether you're on work, at home, in the grocery store, social media, stay your course. Know what your course is, because sometimes your course can be seen as a light that somebody wants to pluck like an insect or something. But always stay your course. You just got to. You got to. You got to. Unless, sometimes you got to be you. Sometimes you got to let that you come out and you got to be you and do what you got to do. But remove yourself from those environments, or remove those pesky things from your environment that try to attack it. Sometimes you got to remove the pesky little things from your environment that try to attack it, because it's going to come. No matter how much you stay to yourself, mind your business, do what you're supposed to do, it can be 1 in a million that one will come. Pluck it off. Pluck it off. Pluck it off and keep focused. Keep focused. Because I think a lot of people don't realize that many of us have more than one personality, but we don't have a personality disorder. You have more than one personality, but you don't have a personality disorder. You adjust to your environment. So keep certain things out of your environment, and your environment will keep an equilibrium of all things good, all things positive, and all things great. You're gonna have some pesky things sometimes, some bad things sometimes. It's just like the bacteria in our bodies, your digestive system. There's some good bacteria there and there's some bad bacteria there. But the good bacteria, when in the right amounts, will engulf that bad bacteria, or at least keep it in check. So keep your environment in check. Keep your environment in check. Like like my granddaddy used to say, maybe I need to coin that. Like my granddaddy used to say, put that on a coin. Put that on one side and flip the other side. Keep on doing you. Keep on living. If meaning arthritis, hadn't hit you yet, keep on living. And another thing he used to say, treat people how you want to be treated. See, a lot of people don't want to be treated good, so they don't treat people good. Or they find good people to try to see if they can, get them to come out of a different bag. A lot of times you don't want people to come out of a different bag. Let people stay in the bag that they're in. Be good to people. And on the other side of that coin, treat people how you want to be treated. I wish I had a coin like that to put in my pocket. I saw a man one day, and he was just handing out coins. And he had altered the coin. He didn't have a particular saying on the coin, but he had just made different figurines. Like he carved out the coin. There were pennies, nickels, dimes. He just carved out crosses. He carved out things within them. And he was just handing them out freely to people. So I reluctantly took one. But sometimes when you think a person has bad intentions, or maybe you don't quite know their intentions, like my thing was, what is his intention? Like, why is he passing these out? And you raised like me, you don't take things from people you don't know. But then there are some times where you make exceptions. Something inside you moves you to say it's okay. So you take it, and you take it for the good. Whether they mean it for good, or not, you take it for the good. You take it and you put a good on it. You speak a good on it. It's just like when you have to speak bad away from you, speak bad up off of you, and speak bad away from you. You can speak good onto things as well. And whatever it is that you have that you may not be so sure about, you can, one, get rid of it, or two, use it for good in some way. Use it for good in some way. Because bad is going to come in all different types of ways. And sometimes we pass up some good things because we're so afraid that everything that's being done or everything that's given to us is being given to us for bad. So, of course, always use discernment. Always use discernment. Always use discernment in whatever it is that you're doing. Whoever you're encountering, use discernment. And even when the discernment has shown you, don't touch that stove. Even when discernment tells you inside not to touch that stove, you still let the stove, you hang around it for a minute to see, because the stove is what's going to burn you. You're not going to burn yourself. The stove is what's going to burn you. So you stay around it and you see, and according to, sometimes the stove, there are numbers on the stove. It can be on a 1, which is barely warm. It can be on like a 4, 5, kind of medium. And it can be on 7 to high, which is hot. So for a while, the stove will be on the 1. It's warm. So you just kind of, letting it stay warm. But as soon as that stove or somebody comes along and turn that stove up, you need to stay away from it. So always know what's the things to stay away from. Sometimes those things come around and they're lukewarm. So you're telling yourself, nah, handle it, handle them, be cordial, be nice, be polite, handle them this way or that way. But when you notice that that stove starts to become medium hot, don't give it time to get high. Don't give it time to get high. Turn it off or get away from it. Turn it off or get away from it. People are like stoves. People are like stoves. But you control your environment. You control your environment. It's just like you control your finances. You control everything that's within your control. You control how much it, affects you. So always pay attention, and always, when you get that funny feeling, even when nothing is going wrong, always keep that sense of discernment, because it'll show you things sometimes immediately, sometimes not so much so. So I'm debating, I'm cooling down. This is my this is my cool down right now. Y'all know this is the favorite part of my workout. So I just got off the weights. I guess just got off the elliptical. So I've had my appetizer, my warm up. I've had my entree, my workout. So we're cooling down. We're having dessert. Okay? My warm up is my appetizer. My exercise is my entree. My cool down is my dessert. Y'all know that? And it's going to always be that way. It's been that way for a long time, because sometimes you have to, when you have goals and things that you want to do, you have to equate them to things that you really truly like doing. I like to eat. I don't like to eat a lot, but most of us like to eat. So whenever you feel like things are getting hard, compare the things that you need to do that you don't really look forward to doing or you don't enjoy doing. Compare those things and equate those things to things that you do like doing. To things that you do like doing. It's like going to school. A lot of people don't like getting up early to get to school. Right? They don't like getting up early. Ooh. They don't like getting up early to go to school. But on Saturdays, they might like getting up. Like I used to like getting up, going walking with my great granddad. So to help me get into getting up to go to school, I would think, okay, on Saturday, we go walking. On Sunday, we go walking and we go to church. So it's like you're doing something 7 days out of the week. So the things that I did on Saturday and Sunday when I got up early, I thought of those things Monday through Friday to help me to get up early to go to school. So that's how you have to do things sometimes. Find something that you like and equate it or correlate it to something that you don't like, or maybe it's not so much that you don't like it, but you don't particularly enjoy it. So do that. Do that, and things will be, hopefully things will be a lot better for you. And always focus on self first, because you focus on self first, then the things that you need to do involving family, you'll be okay. And sometimes it takes a while to really get that. Like, we understand that everybody is taking care of children, nieces, nephews, mom and dad, husband, wife, sometimes still taking care of siblings and things like that. But you got to remember, you got to focus on you and take care of you in order to continue to be able to take care of them. You got to. Y'all know I like to jog some, but when I'm jogging, this phone is just, it's just. So that's why I get on my elliptical and really ride my elliptical. Do my speed up and my cool down, because it's hard trying to get the phone to be steady when you're walking. When you're doing a good walk, it's hard to steady the phone if you're doing a good walk. If you slow it down a little bit, it's a little bit easier when I slow down. But when you're trying to like get in some good walking with some good deep breaths in and out, y'all take some good deep breaths in and out. Relax, relate, resolve, and refocus your mind. If you have to, use some imagery. Think about the things that you enjoy. Think about the things that you like as you walk. You can do that even when you're relaxing in your recliner at home. When you're trying to get to bed, you have problems sleeping, before you try taking something, always try some things like meditation, relaxation techniques, imagery. Try some of those things first before taking something, and if they don't work after a given amount of time, you know, you have to do what you have to do in order to get a sufficient amount of sleep. You have to get a sufficient amount of sleep and a sufficient amount of rest. They're cutting up today, y'all. Y'all know they cut up sometimes out here. So you have to make sure that you're getting a sufficient amount of sleep, a sufficient amount of rest, so that you will be efficient. So you'll be efficient. Yes, you have to get a sufficient amount of sleep, a sufficient amount of rest, so of course a sufficient amount of water. Hey, over 50 and fabulous. Chronolith, hey, what's going on with you? Hello, 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 y'all. Welcome to the live. We're doing our daily walk and talk. Let's walk and talk. So we're talking about good vibes, positioning yourselves in good situations, in good places, getting some rest, rejuvenizing, relaxing, resolving so you can refocus. You know, the same stuff that we always talk about over here, positivity, and doing us. So we're talking about our usual subjects. It's Monday. I know it may have been a manic Monday for you guys, but what I'm hoping is that it was a magnificent Monday, a marvelous Monday, and wasn't too manic. Not too manic. You know, just because it was manic doesn't mean it was bad. Just another manic Monday. Just another manic Monday. And if you're too young to remember that song, Google it. Google it. So again, I hope your Monday was magnificent, marvelous, all that. And if it was manic, I hope it wasn't too manic. If it was manic, hopefully it was manic in a good way. You know, sometimes we work best under pressure. And if the manic was a little bit stressful, hopefully you worked it out. And take each day like that. Take the approach to each day like that. And anything, you guys know, anything that you hear in this video is not meant to be professional advice, but it's meant to be some good sound advice and tips to help us, to help you. And if anyone in the chat has some tips and nuggets, y'all know what we do over here. We drop nuggets. We drop nuggets and we scoop them up. We drop nuggets and we scoop nuggets up. So if someone ever leaves a good nugget in the chat for you that can help you or that can help someone you love, pick it up. Pick it up and try it. It doesn't mean that it'll work for you 100%, but it might. It might. It might work for you. It might work for your family. It might work for your friends or someone that you love or someone that you're trying to help. You know, sometimes the best help that you can offer somebody is help that someone offered you. Sometimes the best help that you can offer somebody is the help that somebody offered you. Because a lot of times, you know, we try our best to give good advice, to give sound, reasonable advice. But then there are times when we're just speechless. Like we don't know what to say. We don't know what kind of advice to give. So you may find yourself in an area where someone else is giving advice and you know that it's good-hearted and it's to serve a good purpose. So pick that nugget up, because that's a nugget. That's a nugget. And usually the people that come through here are dropping good nuggets. And they're picking up good nuggets that other people have dropped in the chat, nuggets that I may have dropped. And I pick up nuggets as well that the chat has dropped. So over here, we like to promote positivity, peace, positivity, and prosperity. I think sometimes when you say things like that, negativity says, oh, really? Let me see if I can put my foot in it. Let me see if I can put my foot in it. So you have to be dedicated to continuing to promote it. Continuing to promote it. And you have to speak on it and do all other things in your power that you know, the power that you have, you can do to continue to have some peace, some positivity, so that you can prosper. Peace, positivity, and prosperity. Hi, Chedden. Hi, Chedden. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How you doing? Glad to have you in my Let's Walk and Talk live. So glad to see you. So glad to have you. That's what we do over here. We walk and talk. We walk and talk, and we drop nuggets. We share them with each other. That's what we've been doing, and that's what we're going to continue to do to remain positive, to uplift people, to encourage people the right way. The right way. Like I was just saying a few minutes ago, I hope everyone's had a magnificent Monday, a marvelous Monday, at home, at work, wherever you were today, whatever you did today. And it's still Monday for most of us. For many of us, I won't say most of us, I'll say for many of us, it's still Monday. I'm glad that you're motivated. That's the key. Motivation. Motivation in a good way. Motivation in a good way. So I'm glad you're motivated. 4:33 there in India. Wow. So you guys are, it's already Tuesday there. Yep, already Tuesday there. And I really truly enjoy my support worldwide. So a lot of times people don't understand that when you're doing something that you want to be perceived as good, you have to sometimes broaden your boundaries. You know, you can't just stay and focus on a certain area, you know. Be grateful for the support that you get from everywhere. As long as it's good support, as long as it's positive support, and as long as you're motivating somebody. As long as you're motivating somebody. I'm in the States, Chedden. I think I've seen you like a long time ago. I'm not sure. I may be thinking about someone else, but I have quite a few people from your area that come through sometimes. Sometimes it's in my comment section. So I can probably go back through my comments and figure out where it was. Look at that, y'all. Y'all know I can't stand that litter. People come through and they litter. You know, sometimes you just got to look over the litter. Just like you have to look over all other negative things. You know, as much as you can. As much as you can. Sometimes you have to look over the litter, the clutter. Hey, cool gamer. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Tuesday here in South Africa, 1:05 a.m. See? So I hope you guys had a great Monday, and I hope you're getting a great start to your Tuesday. And that's what we have to remember, that, you know, we're trying to touch and reach people across the globe in a positive way, in a good way. Don't just stay stuck. Don't stay stuck. Even if you're doing good. If you're doing good, that's fine, but always broaden your horizons. Always broaden your horizons. Always think, you know, think positivity. Think inhaling positivity, breathing it out. Think that when you're taking those deep breaths in and out. And sometimes when I come on here to cool down, because this is what I do. I think a lot of people think that I'm on here exercising. No, when I come on here to do my Let's Walk and Talk, it's my time to connect with you guys and to have some, you know, some talk time with you guys, for you guys to drop some comments down in the chat. So That's what I do. So that you guys can connect with each other in a good way. A good way. And encourage each other. Encourage each other. Yes. Yes, Chitin. Yes. Is it Chetin? I hope I'm saying your name right. I always tell people to correct me. Some people don't like correction, even if it comes down to somebody's name. Like, if you say, pronounce my name, you're saying my name wrong, people will get offended by that. People get offended when you let them know how you feel, but you have to continue to let them know how you feel. Stand on your morals, stand on your convictions. So if I'm saying your name wrong, please let me know, because I don't like to do that. And if I can't say it, if I can't pronounce it, I'll say, please forgive me. I can't pronounce it. I won't get mad at you. I won't get an attitude with you. It's fine. I don't care. Okay, I just want to make sure that I'm saying it right as I possibly can. So what are you doing right now in India? I think you said it's 4:33 a.m. So what is your daily routine? See, that's what I like to know. Things like that. I want to encourage people to move, whether it's walking, whether it's bicycling, some type of cardio. We want to promote good cardio health. Y'all know that is the reason I come on here, to promote good cardio health, to drop some education amongst each other. Because a lot of times content creators only want you to be educated to what they believe. If I don't believe what you're saying, if it's not negative, I'm not going to discount what you're saying at all. Reading and studying, that's all. Okay. Well, good. Hey, you're moving. That's good. You're moving. And I encourage people to move in whatever way suits their body. You know what's too much. You know what may not be enough. But as I always say, before you start any type of exercise, speak with your healthcare provider. Speak with your healthcare provider. He or she will let you know how much is enough and how much is not enough, and how much is too much. How much is too much? Sometimes people will want to run a marathon and they haven't trained. You shouldn't be running a marathon if you haven't trained for it. You should run a marathon, but you need to make sure that you've gotten adequate training for it. I think that's with everything. That's with anything. Before you tackle some things, sometimes you have to have training. You have to have training for it. It's just like your job. When you're in orientation and you're getting new training, even though you may have done the skill before, you may not have done it before at that company. You may not have done it at that company. So you need to see what they want, what they expect. And sometimes the way you learned it needs to be tweaked. It needs to be tweaked. So be open to learning. I think that's why some jobs are, for a lack of better terms, they discriminate on people, not solely on age. You can be 30 years old, young, but if you've only had one job for the past 10 years, and you put that down as your experience, should be a good thing, right? Well, some people will say they've been doing it this way for 20 years. I don't know if we can train them. They're set in their ways. We want somebody new and fresh that we can train. Someone new, someone fresh who we can train to do it our way. Now, when jobs say that, they have to understand that person is not guaranteed to work for you for 10 years, 15 years. So they may be a good worker, and in 5 years you decide to downgrade or downsize, and you have to let them go. So they're going to have to get a new job, right? When they get their new job, they're only 35 years old, 36 years old. Do you know how irritating and annoying it is to hear someone say, we can't train them to do it the way we want? You don't assume that. A lot of jobs, when they look at your age on an application, they figure they've done this for this long. We're not going to be able to train them. You know, they want new people, someone that's 19, 20. If it's a job that requires a college degree, they want someone who's 22, 23. And then they, about 5 or 6 years later, they cycle through to get another batch of college graduates, or those who are about to be college graduates. Well, you know what that does for them? It keeps the rate of pay down. So some jobs create their own turnover every so often, and they do it intentionally every 5 to 10 years. Every 5 to 10 years. Hey, Brilliant. Jesus, I almost missed my time with you today. Blessings. Hey, it's a lot of people live, Brilliant. So you know how I am. I like it small over here. It's seeming, we've always noticed that that's best. And so it's starting to seem like, yeah, that is best. We like it small over here. But I have my main people that come through, even if y'all come through on the replay. And you know, I have my people from all over the globe that come through. And we kick it. You're studying for the police exam, Chetan? Oh, okay. That's good. I hope that you pass. Something is telling me that you're going to pass. You just said that you focus on running and studying. So you're doing two of the things most important for you to do on that type of job. You're running and you're studying. So that's a great thing. And you're going to pass that test. You're going to pass. Brilliant says you always have the right people that show up here at the right time. That's why it's always... Oh, come on, Brilliant. We're trying to keep it like that. We're trying to keep it like that. We're trying to keep it like that. I was talking earlier. Sometimes, you know, environments, you have good and bad in the environment, but you have to just always try to engulf the bad. Use all the good to engulf the bad. It's just like when we talk about reaping what you sow. If you know that you've reaped a lot of bad and you aren't satisfied with yourself, right? You better start reaping some good, so that when you start to look back over that field of life, you'll see all that bad that you did. You will. But you'll start to see that at some point in your life, you decided to reap good. And now, with age, with maturity, hopefully, that field, that bad area of the field, is just a spot. Hopefully it's just a spot. And hopefully, and I mean, it can be some of the worst things that a person has done. Try your best, because we're all human. We're all works in progress. When you've done a lot of bad and you've acknowledged that, those flaws, try your best to start to do good. But you have to do it. It has to be authentic. It has to be authentic. Try to do more good and try to do it authentically, from a good place, from a place of redemption, wanting to be better, wanting to better yourself, wanting to have a better mind frame. Try to come from a place of redemption and start to do good, so that when you start to look, every so often when you look back at that field again, the good has started to engulf the bad. The bad isn't going away, but the good starts to engulf it. Like I was saying earlier, like your digestive system. We have good bacteria and we have bad bacteria. And as long as everything is in its proper state, as long as there's an equilibrium and bacteria are doing what it's supposed to do, things will remain in check. In spite of that bad bacteria, it won't overgrow. There's only an issue when the bacteria starts to overgrow. So that's why Believe it or not, that's why some doctors don't treat with antibiotics as much as they used to. They still use them, of course. We've got to remember it's a money-making business, but it's also a needed business. It is a needed business. You know, for those who don't use medicine, not to step on your toes, but there are some times when you may get an earache. It's an ear infection, a sinus infection, and it's not viral, it's bacterial. You have to get an antibiotic. But the good thing about antibiotics is that if you take a break, you know, if you notice that one isn't working so well, you can take a break, maybe a few years, and then you can take that antibiotic again. Possibly, most people can, but then sometimes you can't. And sometimes you have to get a new one, or one that may not be new, but it may be new to you. It may be different. But there are times when there's a little infection or some bacteria that shouldn't be there, but the good bacteria will engulf it and things will be made equal. And equal doesn't always mean 50-50. Equal doesn't always mean 50-50. Thank you for speaking to everybody, Brilliant. I appreciate you, sis. I appreciate you. Thank you for always coming and leaving with good vibes. I hope you had a good Monday. I started the live off, talking about it being Monday, hoping that everyone has had a marvelous Monday, a magnificent Monday. And if your Monday has been manic, hopefully, for a lot of us, it's still Monday, so hopefully things will turn around. But if not, get you some good sleep, get you a good meal, get you the proper rest, and start over tomorrow. Start over tomorrow. I don't think Sonya's not in here. I don't think Sonya's in here, Brilliant. I don't know. See, that's the thing I don't know, Brilliant. Sometimes people say they don't see each other. And like I said, Sonya and I couldn't see each other. And Sonya's my mod. So I don't know. Let me see what happened. She's been my mod for a long time. And I'm trying to remember how it happened. I think because she's a mod, we were able to see each other in the chat. But when the video ended, or if I uploaded a video, which I rarely do, you guys know I rarely upload videos. I do the Let's Walk and Talk lives. That's it, and I do my shorts. So now I won't say I'll never do videos, because I have uploaded short videos. But I'm just saying I focus on walking and talking. That's what I do. And I focus on shorts, because I love shorts. You can make a short out of anything. So it was usually in the live, I could see her just fine. Then at some point, I don't know why, and Sonya doesn't, sometimes if you spam the chat, like YouTube will do it. Like you can't put too many emojis in the chat. I don't know why, what they consider that, to be, and I guess it can get annoying. And I guess that's an issue with YouTube as well, for some reason, putting a whole lot of emojis in the chat. But Sonya didn't do that. I don't know what happened, but we couldn't see each other. Well, Brilliant, I couldn't see you. But during that time, I was like, when I couldn't see Sonya, I couldn't contact them and figure out what was going on. So after a while, I just started saying, I want to see Sonya. Why can't I see Sonya? After the live has ended, I just kept saying it. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you have to speak things into existence, and sometimes you have to speak things away. And things can be stubborn, especially if they know that you're trying to speak it away. But it is what it is. You stand hold. Righteousness knows what's right. So you're trying to speak it into existence. And that's what I was doing. I was trying to speak it. And I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know what happened. I still couldn't contact them. But Sonya, all of a sudden, that little reply symbol that's in the comment section, I was finally able to reply. I don't know why they did it. I wasn't blocked. She wasn't blocked. And sometimes people will go into their studio and they think that they've unblocked someone, or they say, well, I don't see you in here. You're not blocked. Well, then sometimes you have to go into Google Contacts. So I think she went into Google Contacts. I know I did. I didn't have her blocked. Sonya, there was no reason to block Sonya. So I didn't have her in Google Contacts. I didn't have her in my YouTube Creator Studio on the block list. But we just couldn't see each other. Well, she could comment. She could comment, which is crazy. But I couldn't reply. And so whenever I came live, I had to say, Sonya, I see your comments. And I try to reply. But every time I try, it says this action is not allowed. So I don't know what the deal was. But I kept talking about it, and eventually we were able to communicate again. Because when we started out, everything was fine. And so when that happened with you and me, I checked the same things. You weren't blocked. I don't even know, you know what, Brilliant? I don't even remember how I found out. I can't remember. It was something crazy when it happened with you too, because I don't know if somebody told me that Brilliant says she can't see. I think you made the post. And I was like, I didn't block you. Like, I didn't block you. And so whatever it was, but I was able to contact them. And they worked it out. So sometimes it can just be, there can be a variety of reasons that a person gets shadow banned as well. A person can get shadow banned. Brian says, I can see Sonya's comment when you let it pop up on your screen. Okay, but that's it. So it's all good. Okay. I just appreciate her energy as well. Sonya is super sweet and chill. She is. And I hope, Brian, did you check your YouTube studio to make sure? Because I'm going to tell you now, when somebody says it to me, I don't get upset. You have to let people vent their feelings. Like, when you said it, I was like a bit perturbed. I was like, what is Brittany talking about? I didn't block her. But I had to catch myself and remember, girl, sometimes you can block people. If your phone is not locked and you set it down and you grab it and pick it up, girl, sometimes you can hit something and block somebody and lay your hand on it. Because before it actually blocks, I think it asks you if you're sure. But sometimes you can pick something up with the tip of your fingers, and if you lay your hand on it, you've blocked somebody. You've done a whole lot of crazy stuff. You've made a person a moderator. You've done all kinds of crazy stuff. You've timed someone out. People time people out all the time by mistake. So that lets me know, sometimes it's a mistake. So that's why I always say, don't get upset initially. I know it's hard, but if you have mutual contacts on here, let them know, and hopefully that person can go in and check and make sure that they haven't blocked you by mistake, because sometimes that happens. Sometimes that does happen. Amen. And speaking this way, things to go. Yeah. More powerful wisdom from Live. Thank you, Brilliant. Thank you. I be trying to just keep it on that level. I be trying. Laugh out loud. Every time I think of that, I get so embarrassed, Lord. Nah, it's like, Brilliant, you know how I am, and that's a good thing. Like, see, that's why, again, I like it over here, close-knit. Those of us who know us. We admit flaws over here. And one of my flaws is impatience. Now, when I get upset or get ticked, it's not to say that I shouldn't be, that it's not justified. But I try to have more patience with it. When I get upset or I get ticked, I'm upset and I'm ticked. Surefire Leo line. But I still try to say, okay, temper down. Y'all know I said that one of those things that doesn't work for me is counting. That counting, 1, 2, because by the time some people start counting, they're already on 8. So sometimes that doesn't work. So I just had to, and I'm real impatient with things like that. Not so much as the person, but I'm trying to figure out, like, once I heard what you said, I was like, hold up, let me check. So I'm immediately checking, and I'm like, I don't understand, and so especially with that type of situation, I try not to get upset with the person because it's happened to me where they couldn't see me in the chat. And I told someone else to ask them about it. And I hate even doing that for real. But a lot of times if a person doesn't have an email, that's the only way you can, contact them. So I'm like, can you please ask them what did I do to cause them or a mod to block me? And sometimes it's just a mistake. And then sometimes it's just that something you said may have been misinterpreted. Because I was in the chat the other day and it's like we were talking back and forth. And then I was just like, you know what? This isn't the first time this happened. Sometimes you start chatting back and forth and you're typing and things get misconstrued or they get seen at the wrong time. Like, a chat, your conversation in the chat, they can't really flow the way they're supposed to flow. Have a nice day. Have a nice day, Kuya. Thank you. I appreciate you. Kuya Pang's official. Thank you. Have a nice day, my best friend. Please have a nice day. Have a nice week. Claim it. Speak over it. For all things good, speak over it. And all things bad, speak it away. Claim that you'll have a good week. That's easier said than done. And it doesn't always work that way. But you have to stay convicted. Stand strong and stay convicted. But yeah, brilliant. So sometimes you're like in a chat and it's just like, what? And so what I'll do then is sometimes I'll just make something clearly known or I'll just wait until the chat gets like a little bit smaller. Because sometimes when there's a lot of people in the chat, things do get misconstrued, not even twisted, just misunderstood or misconstrued. Or they see it at a wrong time. Because when people are in the chats talking, you may be talking to 3 or 4 people in that chat at the same time. So it is what it is. It gets hard like that. But if it's someone who's worth it, if it's someone who brings positivity to your channel, you're going to find out what happened. You bring positivity to the channel. So I was definitely trying to find out what happened. Amen. I have to remember to stop claiming bad stuff. Right. That tries to come my way to trip me up. So thanks for this convo. You're welcome, Bree. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Kuya, for being here. Chet and Cool Gamer, thank you guys for coming in. And again, it's good to see your usual people. It's good to see new people. And I spoke on this earlier. Try to broaden your horizons. And have various topics. But try to have topics that aren't meant to step on anybody's toes. But sometimes we do have to have hard conversations. So when you do have to have the hard conversations, just make sure that people understand to keep it professional, to keep it courteous. And I want to say to keep it polite. And I know sometimes, we as humans, we get feelings, we're emotional. We don't always keep it polite, but that's what the timeout button is for. Sometimes we need a break. Sometimes that timeout button it works really well because sometimes you need a break and you don't even see it because you're so enthralled in what you're saying. So 2 or 3 people may say, okay, they need a break and they time you out. But you know what? That's like a catch-22. As with most things, that's a catch-22 because the person will often come back angrier and sometimes they'll come back, a little cooled off. They've cooled off. And so that's a good thing. Brian says, Kunya, thank you, best friend. I will subscribe and stop by and visit. Not the time Brilliant. I know it's like people get upset about the timeout button. Now, I don't know if it's because the way I was raised, that's what our parents used to do to us. That's what happened at school a lot. You got timed out. You got timed out. You couldn't participate for 5 minutes until you got it together. At least got it together enough to be able to be cordial and enough to maybe calm your temper, But again, some people, man, you put them in that timeout, it's like it's on. They get furious. They get furious about somebody else's timeout button. But you know, people tend to only understand what they want to understand. They don't, a lot of times they don't understand someone else's perspective because that's not the way they would do it. So that's one thing as a Leo. And I really don't think, like I said, signs are as big on your personality, don't reflect as much as your personality as people would like to think, because my parents were Scorpio, Pisces, and I see some of that in me. Not Pisces, I'm sorry, Aquarius. I see some of that in me. So, along with the Leo, so in the ways that I'm just like my mom, I definitely see her sign. In the ways that I'm like my dad, I definitely see his sign. So, of course, when we're born in under a certain sky, a certain, time and all that, I do think it plays a part in our personalities. Even the time of day, if you were born day or night, I think to a degree it does. But I think we as human beings, we're supposed to be the upper crust, right? Humans, we're all animals. We're supposed to be the upper crust, right? What's going on, my chef fine this wine? You're just getting off work. Chef fine this wine. I hope your Monday was great. I hope that you had a great day at work. Y'all, these things starting to slide. I guess I got to get my new ones. Are y'all like that? I have some new ones. This is how I am. I always buy like that extra set of something so that even if it's brand new, I'll buy two. Or like if something's getting old, when I go to buy one, I'll buy two. Just to have. I'll buy two just to have, so that I won't have to run to the store to get that. I don't have to put that on the list to pick up. So I gotta run and get some more ankle weights, because these ankle weights do really help. They do help. Chef Finest Wine says he's just getting off. That's my Chef Finest Wine. And see, Chef knows me. Chef knows me. Chef made a statement the other day. We're so much alike. Y'all know that when some people are so much alike, sometimes they clash. But there's still something about, and it's probably because Chef is an Aquarius, my dad's Aquarius. So that's why I say I don't really dwell too much on the signs, because I feel like you may come from whatever sign that you are, but then your other parent, like you may come from two Cancer signs, or you may come from a Capricorn and a Sagittarius. So whatever your sign is, you may be able to see some of the traits and characteristics of your sign, but most people are able to see whatever their parents were too in them. And Chef and I, we click, y'all. We click. And that doesn't say we don't disagree on things. But I got so much love for Chef that if Chef tells me something, I'm gonna think like, okay, hold on. I'm not picking up what he's putting down, but just let me listen. Let me listen. And let me see. And I feel like he's the same way. And sometimes there are those certain people in your lives that can change your mind, or that can show you a different perspective or a different way, and it may affect the way that you think. Now there are some things I'm not going to change my mind. I am who I am. Like some people like to say Nikki said, but Nikki didn't start that. I am who I am. And Chef is who he is. But we so get each other. And I think that's the good part about it. I get that he's not going to always agree with me, and I'm not going to always agree with him. But what we do is we work it out. We work it out, because the first thing that we think is that my love and respect is greater than this disagreement. See, sometimes you haven't developed that love and respect for a person yet. But like with Chef, it was like immediate. Like it was immediate. It was like we didn't really have to. It's gotten better, but I'm saying it was like immediate. Let me see. I missed something. I bought the wrong size pants to wear at work. I was walking around all day. Pants like a security guard. The little kids was laughing at me. Really, Chef? But Chef, Bree says no. She says, no, Chef. Oh, blessings to you, brilliant. Yes, I truly love you too, my lion's pride. We definitely understand each other 1,000%. Yes. And like even when we don't, if we don't, we work it out. Like y'all, I'm telling you right now, I could probably get 38 hot with Chef Finest wine. But I'm gonna still say, okay, what let me see what I did though. And I haven't always been that way. You have to some people are like that from the rip, but I haven't always been that way. So, it's called growth. Sometimes, over the years, it's you grow. We should mature. There's a certain wisdom that we should acquire with our years. Everybody doesn't, but most of us, I would like to think that we do. But, you know, so even if we don't agree, we can do that. We don't have to dislike each other. I think sometimes I've seen people on social media who they say, okay, well, it's all good. Everything is cool now. But then you see them in chats talking to each other and there's still tension. Like they're still throwing like slight jabs at each other. And then they're saying that it's just joking. But I mean, your discernment doesn't have to be on point to see when somebody is taking a jab at somebody. Your discernment doesn't have to be on point just to know that your common sense, your street sense, your natural born God-given sense allows you to see when someone is taking a jab at somebody. So you know that person sees that you're throwing a jab at them. But it's not like that. I'm just going to be, with people I love and respect, I'm going to be straightforward and tell them. And if I feel like, if we argue right now and I felt like, okay, this isn't going like we usually goes, I'm going to be like, Chef, I'm going to call you. Or Chef, email me. Because we can't settle this right here. Everything doesn't need to be settled in public. If it's worth it. Some things aren't worth it. Some people aren't worth it. And when I say they aren't worth it, I don't mean their worth, their value. I mean that particular relationship is not worth it. It's not worth it. Right, Chef Finest Wine. We never forget that. And that's what comes first. And that's how it is with family. But you know what? I'm going to say that's how it's supposed to be with family. Because sometimes family even stops speaking to each other. And y'all know I always talk about that. I feel like, if you can get mad with your spouse or your significant other, or even sometimes your children, or your children get mad at you, and y'all walk around the house for 2 or 3 days and don't even speak to each other. And I always say sometimes it's 2 or 3 weeks. Then why can't you just not speak to somebody on an app? If y'all don't click, then y'all just don't click, period. But when you do, it's the same thing. It's just like family. Even though you may walk around for 2 weeks, when family calls, you're going to run. When family calls, you're going to come. So there's like 5 people on this app I can say that about. It's like they're family. When they come, it doesn't matter if we have a falling out and we don't speak for 2 weeks. When they call, we're going to come. Because sometimes the reason you don't speak is because you need a break. You need a break. It's just like with family. Sometimes you need a break. But it just still amazes me how people will walk around under the same roof and won't speak to someone for days and weeks. But when they come onto that app, baby, they got to let it all loose. You can ignore them. You can just keep it moving. They got to keep on plucking like a little insect right there. I keep on plucking like they just want to be seen or want to be heard. And then when you let them know you see them or hear them, then it's you. You're the problem. I'm like, what the heck? What the heck? But that's how people are. I'm like, no, you shouldn't be this way on the app. Again, a lot of y'all won't even talk to your husband or your wife for 3-4 days, 2 or 3 weeks. But when you come on this app, you can't ignore the person that you don't click with. Just ignore people that you don't click with. Don't be in someone's chat wreaking havoc. Don't be in somebody else's chat wreaking havoc. Chef said, yes. Bree says, I love when people get along the way we should. Very powerful. Right. And then this is like, and I know people don't care. And that's honestly sad. But we can clearly say that We just left the month of January, a whole new year. Everybody that was gonna, oh, I'm gonna do this. This 2024. This 2024. They either doing the same thing or they're doing worse as far as their actions. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday month, New Year. Right now is this is Black History Month. They letting you know, no, we don't give a about each other, and they proudly admit it. Like they don't even acknowledge it. And then it's so funny. Some are acknowledging it with what they put up and post, but they're not acknowledging it through their actions. Chef says, yeah, right. I saw that one. Bria says some folks they just lack. Yep, they lack the skills and maturity. Yep. And that's okay. I just understand what I'm dealing with. Right. When I encounter new folks, especially on, yeah, that's true, Brilliant. That's true. Hey, Rhonda. I didn't see you. Hey, Rhonda. Girl, I've been running my mouth. I didn't see you. Welcome to the live. I appreciate you for coming by. Chef says, Brilliant, you always have so many kind words to say. We appreciate you. I appreciate you. Definitely, definitely. Everybody's speaking to Rhonda. Hey, Rhonda. Hey, Rhonda. Rhonda says, Chef Finest Wine, you are beautifully amazing. Yes, yes. I know that's right, sis. He is. He is. He is. He is. That's why I tell him. He can get, see, I'm going to tell y'all this. Chef can get mad at me. He can get mad at me. I'm going to be like, let me call him. You know, I don't call people like that. And like I said, it's only like 5 people that I call maybe. But I'm going to be like, oh, I'm about to call you. Let me hit this email. Let me bring this email up. Let me bring this email up. Because, y'all, when you get some understanding and some straightening, it doesn't mean that you don't stand on what you feel or that you don't stand on your opinion, your thought, or your belief. It just means you're going to get an understanding that you're not going to let that tear you apart. That's all it is. That's all it is. It means you're just going to get some understanding that you're not going to let the issue be bigger than your relationship. You're not going to let the issues be bigger than your feelings for each other. You're not. Rhonda says, hey, beautiful sister. Brian says, agreed. Yes, your finest wine is all that. And some more. He says, thank y'all. Yes, we have each other's email. Yeah. Rhonda says, true, I need this. I know, y'all, I'm telling you. August. It's in August. I'm a Leo. I'm a Leo, chef. That's why I say I don't really like the signs and stuff. Yes, do I have characteristics and traits of a Leo? Yes, I do. But I have some of a Scorpio and I have some of an Aquarius as well. Because I'm like my mom and dad in a lot of ways. Y'all know they even have it so that you can see what sign is your mate sign and all that stuff. and it's so funny because I've seen they also tell you who you maybe you won't pair well with. And I've seen people that literature says won't pair well and they have the best relationships. They have the best relationships. I'm gonna email you, chef. I'm gonna call you. I got your number. I think unless you changed it. Unless you change it. And I'm gonna tell you why. Yes, Rhonda, yes, they can. They definitely can. The trolls online can siphon your energy. Don't let them. Okay, they really, really can. So that's why I just, it's some stuff you just be like, nah. And it's such a sad thing that people don't have. I won't say all of them don't have anything to do, but some of them are just so evil that any bit of anything, they go wild with it. They go wild with it. I'm like, geez, that's that right there. That's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like the simplest thing that you should be able to enjoy or share with the world, you can't because people are something else. People are truly something else. And sometimes they're busy trying to prove a point that's a moot point. Like that that you can't even prove. Like, it's honestly mute. It's honestly mute. That's why when you find yourself, and I'm gonna tell y'all, if y'all see me, if you find yourself in the chat and you say something to somebody and they say something to you, after about 2 or 3 comments, if y'all don't agree on something, that's an obvious agreement to disagree on. Like, you don't even have to say, let's agree to disagree. That's one of the funniest terms I've heard. Let's agree to disagree. I mean, why? We it's clear that we don't agree. If I say something to you and you say something to me, and then we go back and forth 2 or 3 times, now we're having a good, healthy, productive dialogue, then good. But if you're just trying to convince me of something and I'm not there, I'm not going there, that's just not what I believe. Or if I'm trying to convince you of something and you, after 2 or 3 comments to you, then that should tell me that you're not going there, that you're sticking to what you believe. That's the time to leave the conversation alone, not to get mad at each other. So many people get mad at each other because they can't change. Can you change your children's mind? And that's what's so funny. Some of them can't even handle their own kids or their own spouse. And I guess that's what people mean when they say the power of social media. People come onto social media and try to take or inflict the authority on social media that they may not be able to inflict at home or at work or at church or wherever. And typically those people will tend to deflect and try and turn that back around on you. But when it all kicked off, you know where you stood, you know your stance, and you know it wasn't you. You were just kind of like, oh, okay. Kind of mind blown in a minute way, but nothing should really ever blow your mind on social media. Kind of mind blown in a minute way, but nothing should ever blow your mind on social media. That energy in my house or soul. What are you saying, Brilliant? Oh, Rhonda says she loves your name. Y'all know I be trying to look around because there be dolls out here. I get so behind in the comments. Okay, I will, Chef. I will. Okay, Rhonda says you can feel that darkness. Yeah, you can feel it. And it'll try to make you feel like you're the darkness, but you already know because you didn't have a problem. You didn't have a problem. When you let people know who you are, that should be it. You know how you feel, that should be it. Again, I'm never against constructive dialogue, educational dialogue. But why try to convince me of something if you can't even convince your own children, your own husband, your own wife, your own friends that you do truly know? You can't convince them. Why convince me? Or why get upset with me? It's like you cannot convince me that what you're saying is okay if I don't think it's okay. The same way I can't convince you and I can't get mad at you for not thinking it's okay. I know what's okay for me and I know my position. So a lot of times it's people don't know their positions. Look at you and what did you do? Look at the next person and what are they saying that it meant to them? Whatever that action was, it meant to them. Just because you think it's okay doesn't mean it's okay. So a lot of times we have to just learn to accept that that's your way, but it doesn't make it okay. So a lot of times the best thing for that is, unless you like negativity and like to continue to indulge, you'll just let it go. Ain't nothing wrong with letting somebody go that you never even met before. It's nothing wrong with letting go of something or somebody that you never even met before. Brian says, Rhonda, when I'm in a public setting, aside from my close friends and family, my rule is not to ever discuss politics. Oh my God, it gets too sticky. Yes, y'all, it does. Working on my spirit for years. I guess a lifetime. Yes, Rhonda, that's what I was saying earlier. We're all works in progress. If you're 92 years old, if you're 95, if you're 100 years old, and you're still on this earth, you're still working. You're still a work in progress. You are. Brittany says I get offline and pray. Oh, you do mean pray every night when I log off? No lies, I'd be afraid. Yeah, because some people are just evil, and sometimes they present the evil as kindness. They present the evil as kindness. You know? Sometimes, and then a lot of times they're like, who are you to tell them? Because, especially if you study people, you know, and you don't really have to study people. All of us have had encounters with other people. Some of us have different perceptions of things, and some of us don't use our discernment to the degree of others. But we know when something or someone means us no good. And even if they started out not trying to step on toes or whatever, let your feelings be known. Some people will listen to their kids, or they'll listen to certain other people, but they won't listen to other adults. Other adults have had experiences, probably just as many experiences in life as you have. So listen to them. Put your heads together and collaborate on it. When it's something that you disagree about or agree with, you don't have to agree. Like I said, you don't even have to make that statement, let's agree to disagree. That's because that's a natural, that's an obvious. But you can just talk about ways that, well, you know what? I had conversations with people before, and I said, we're just not going to talk about that. Like Rhonda just said, prime example, politics. We're just not going to talk about that. Because your mind is made, my mind is made, and only actions or time can change it. Only God, only you can change your mind. So when you're dialoguing with someone or you're talking with someone, if you've made up your mind, there's no need to continue to go back and forth. That's when you do end up arguing. Why argue when you've already made up your mind? Rhonda says, I didn't know you had a channel. This feels so good. Thank you. Oh, I appreciate you, Rhonda. And do you go live? Because I don't know. I think I've only seen you in Roland's chat. So I wasn't sure. You know how when you go into lives, you aren't sure of whoever has a channel or who doesn't. So, and sometimes depending on what the person is saying in the chat, if I'm a mod, I will click on it to see if they have a channel and to see if there's someone that I, would enjoy listening to, talking with, or watching. But I didn't know you had a channel either. But when we were talking in the chat the other day, I think yesterday, and you said that you grabbed me up, I checked, and so I definitely connected with you. So I don't know if you do a lot of lives. I didn't look at your channel, but if you do, I definitely connected, and I hit the all notifications, so I will be notified. Yes, I do. I love Roland too. I do. And that's the thing about it. Roland is such a smart person. Like, people in her chat the other day, some of those people were like, they were cutting up. But it's all about presentation. And the way Roland presented her thoughts and feelings, I don't agree with all of them, but there's always a way. Presentation is everything. I understand. And even sometimes when you don't agree with something, it doesn't mean you don't understand it. And I completely understand her stance on it. And to be honest, I feel the way she feels. I just don't think I feel the way to the degree that a lot of the people in the chat felt. I didn't feel that way. Because when I think about things like that, especially politics and what people do to people, I always have to remind myself that, generally speaking, our people are considered at the bottom to everybody. So I'm going to fight for our people. So from that perspective, I get exactly what she's saying. Why can't our people, why can't poor people hear? But when it comes to how they address the issue, then we differ. But I respect her. We differ. I differ because you always have to remember, if it's allowed to be done to one group, it'll be allowed to be done to your group, especially when they don't care about your group anyway, you know? So if it's allowed to be done to one group, it'll be allowed to be done to another group. And so that's why I brought up the subject of, you know, another subject of brutality. Would some of you guys still feel the same way? Would some of you still be clicking, you know? Which is a totally different subject. I understand that they won't, because like we said earlier, we're not going to always agree, and we're not going to always agree on all things. But sometimes I just weigh the intensity. I look at the intensity. Intensity matters to me. Intensity definitely matters to me. And I'm like, man, y'all like, I almost, not rolling, but some of the people in the chat, I almost got like a mob type of mentality. That's the feel I kind of got from some of them. I kind of got like a mob type. So I was like, okay. But the good thing out of all of this is that her channel is growing. Her channel is growing. And those who are meant to be there will be there. And she's going to continue to grow. Wait, I was already subbed to you. To you, Queen. Lion's Pride must have had you. Oh, okay. Probably did. I probably did. Rhonda says, yeah, I felt a darkness and had to rise. Yeah, to be better, to support her. Exactly. And that's what it's all about. We have to be able to rise up above our feelings sometimes to support the people who we know have good intentions. If we know they have good intentions, we have to be able to rise above our feelings, because we're not going to always agree at all. We're not going to always agree. Rhonda says, thank you for helping me with that. You're welcome. You helped me too, because I'm not going to lie to you. I had to back up a little bit, and I even said I'm going to step away for a while, because some of the things I'm seeing in the chat, as a mod, I like to be across the board. You know, I don't like to do something because it made me upset. I only move as a mod when they disrespect, when they're very disrespectful to the channel holder or others in the chat. That's when I move. When they're disrespectful and they've been warned, that's when I move. So a lot of them they were disrespectful, but they weren't disrespectful to Roland, and they weren't being disrespectful to specific people in the chat. Some of the things they were saying were disrespectful in general. So I let that ride, because like I said, her channel is growing. And so those who are meant to be there, they will stay. When she has a topic and they don't like it, we'll see if they're going to truly support. Will they truly be able to support you and remain there? And they should be. Because if you support her on one subject, you should be able to support her or support the fact that you disagree on another one. So I don't move quickly. And so you being there, Rhonda, that helped me as well. I'm telling you, y'all being, Chef being there, because Chef always makes it clear, be respectful in this chat. Be respectful in this chat. He's going to always make that clear. But y'all, I got to get out of here. Believe it or not, this time of the evening, I have to pay a bill. Look, I got to pay a bill. Bills. That's the one true thing Destiny's Child said. They said a lot of things that you could decipher through the music to find to be true, whether you're into the music or not. But bills. So I got to get out of here. I wish you guys peace, positivity, and prosperity. Peace, positivity, and prosperity. If there's no peace, there's chaos. If there's no positivity, there's negativity. And wherever there's chaos and negativity, you fail to prosper. So remove yourself from that environment, or remove those vibes from your environment. Don't let bothered people bother you. Don't enter a place and leave with more stress than you entered with. Any place you go into, some of us already have a degree of stress. So if you find that place stressing you out, leave. Leave. Don't go into a place and leave with more stress than you go in with. Social media wasn't intended for that. It's the people who make social media what it is. So again, y'all, peace, positivity, and prosperity. And I will see y'all on the next Let's Walk and Talk live video. Bye, y'all. Hold up. I just said bye, y'all. I'm gonna start seeing if y'all got something else y'all want to say. Rhonda says, love you all from my heart. Thank you. Thank you, Rhonda. We love you too. Thank you for coming over here. I'm glad that we have connected with each other. And again, I'm gonna go and check your channel out while I'm out here paying this bill. Bye, y'all.